Hey guys, we're back. So when I say BJJ competitions, we think about the grapplers.
Gordon Ryan, the king, attempting to make history here.
The excitement.
For Miguel Galvão, and that is it.
But we never really talk about the referees. Are they really important? Are they doing a good job?
Hands on the hips.
Come on, Josh.
Choke deep, Josh. Josh, choke deep.
Come over here.
Let's find out. You could easily get carried away by all the sleek BJJ submission techniques that you fail to realize just how dangerous these moves can be. With the right amount of pressure, the joints can pop out if a submission lock isn't released in time. But that's why we have referees, to intervene and stop the match before someone gets badly injured. However, even under the watchful eyes of some of the best referees, there have been devastating injuries in BJJ fights. While we must admit that accidents happen, some of these injuries could have been easily prevented if the right things were done. Now, who's to blame? Are the referees doing a good job? Or perhaps they need to do more to protect the fighters? But should the blame entirely rest on referees, or could the fighters themselves be partly responsible for these injuries? Let's find out. In a sport as physical as BJJ, referees are there to prevent things from getting messy.
Keep the hand wrapped. There you go, belly down with it.
They are to intervene when a fight becomes too intense, protecting the fighters from sustaining serious injuries. And trust us, when we say BJJ fights can turn out to be really intense. But we have seen referees just standing to watch when it appears like a grappler is struggling, and unfortunately, this has resulted in some terrible injuries.
Oh, shit.
But if a referee's primary responsibility is to protect the grapplers, you might be wondering why they allow such to happen. Well, the referee's intention isn't for the grappler to get injured, but in BJJ, a fighter has to indicate by tapping out that he can no longer continue. If he doesn't tap, then the referee isn't obliged to stop the match. Sometimes, grapplers refuse to tap out, hoping that they can still break a lock, but instead, they end up sustaining serious injuries.
Back.
Yep.
Look at what's happening here. Look what's happening here.
That's in deep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
He might have broken his arm.
Like in the case of Gantumur Bayandur, who refused to tap in his match with Mikey Musumichi, even when his leg was badly injured.
Oh my God, what do I need to do to get him out of here? Because I've tried everything, and this guy's legs.
Gantumur ultimately suffered a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus, and a broken ankle. Generally, referees do a good job protecting grapplers, but there are occasional bad stoppages where the referee either stops the fight too early or allows it to continue for too long. BJJ referees are usually cautious when it comes to stopping a fight, because once halted, the decision cannot be reversed, and the fight immediately comes to an end, irrespective of what the fighter or his management thinks. In BJJ, like in most fighting sports, the referee's decision is final. He is the highest authority in every match. Because of how sensitive the role is, referees like to ensure that the fight absolutely needs to be stopped before they step in to interrupt the match. One time, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who occasionally participates in BJJ tournaments, got into a heated argument with a referee after the official ended his match and declared his opponent the winner, thinking that Zuckerberg had tapped out. Zuckerberg, who felt that the match was prematurely ended, protested the decision. This, however, isn't an isolated incident. Many BJJ fighters have walked off the mat dissatisfied with the referee's decision. Some have even gone far as launching an appeal. Now that's the dilemma a BJJ referee finds himself in. As a referee, do you wait till a fighter taps out? Or do you step in to protect the fighter by ending a match when you suspect that things are about to get out of hand? What if you stop a match only to find out later that you might have intervened too early?
He's tapping.
Or you hesitate for too long and a grappler sustains a devastating injury?
May have found the heel here.
When fighters sustain injuries during grappling, especially because the referee refused to stop the fight, everyone tends to blame the official for the accident. BJJ referees operate around a thin fine line, with every decision having the potential to change the outcome of the contest. Also, to secure their victory, many fighters refuse to release a lock until the referee ends the match.
They have got to check the grips very.
Even when their opponent is on the verge of passing out. If we are to be honest, we can't totally blame them.
Tonin isolating this arm again.
We did see Tonin play a bit of guard yesterday as well in his match before standing back up in the overtime period.
Slips off, looks to butterfly sweep.
There have been situations where fighter faked the tap just to escape a lock. Grapplers are all aware of how dangerous BJJ locks can be.
JT has to abandon. Yeah, has he got double overs here? I can't quite say. He's got to be careful.
He does have double overs, yeah.
Oh, tries to roll over the top.
Yeah, that's a risky game to play. He's going to go looking for an inverted triangle.
Could go if he connects the legs. He's got to be careful not to get sat down off it.
But a lot of fighters would rather wait until the referee ends the fight just to be sure.
Go for a rolling knee bar.
Yeah, rolling knee bar. Good last ditch attempt.
He actually has it locked up.
Oh, he's in.
This is tight.
Gary Tonin bridging for everything he's worth. 4 seconds left, JT Torres. And they are going to see the timeout.
Many believe that this hesitance is responsible for most of the injuries witnessed in BJJ fights. Some are of the view that a fighter should release his lock once his opponent taps, regardless of whether the referee stops the match or not. But for some, since the referee's decision is final, a grappler has to wait to hear from the referee first, because if he doesn't, then an opponent can argue that he wasn't actually submitted. So, if such authority is yesed in a referee, then referees have to be recruited cautiously. Now this brings us to the issue of how BJJ referees are recruited. Can anybody officiate a BJJ match? Or are there requirements and tests a referee has to pass through? Well, the answer to this question is quite straightforward. Not just anyone is allowed to officiate a BJJ match. To become an IBJJF referee, one needs to be at least 18 years of age. It's also mandatory that you hold a minimum of a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and have a minimum of 2 years of experience as a competitor in IBJJF events. You also need to attend BJJ webinars, seminars, where you will be taught the rules and regulation of BJJ. You will also be taught the responsibilities of a referee and how to handle different situations that may arise during a match. In these seminars, participants are required to demonstrate their understanding of the rules and their applications. Upon completion of the seminar, participants must pass a written exam and practical evaluation to be official with at least 85% marks. Selected referees then join the referee training program. After certification, to retain your certification, referees must remain active by working a minimum number of IBJJF events per year. So this shows us just how seriously BJJ organizations take the training of referees. Referees officiating BJJ matches are often well-trained and not just random individuals. Although mistakes sometimes happen, referees do not intentionally stand aside in hopes that a grappler gets injured. Most times, they are waiting for the fighter to signal by tapping out, so they can immediately end the match.
I don't care.
Other times, they jump in to halt the match before more damage is done. Either way, a referee always acts in the best interest of the competitors. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Don't also forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. See you in our next video. Till then, stay safe.